So today, this afternoon, we'll be giving the Anagarika precepts. So those 3 people, to Clinton and Brian and Alex. So we have triplets. Yeah. And the Anagarika precepts in the Tibetan tradition, they're called, the Tibetan name is Gomni Genyen. So Genyen, it's a lay, you're still technically a lay person, but you've taken the 5 regular lay precepts, but the 3rd one is celibacy, and then you've added 3 more to that. So it's similar to the 8 Mahayana precepts. The extra ones you add are do not sit on high and luxurious seats and beds, and to avoid singing, dancing, and entertainment, and wearing perfumes, garlands, and ornaments, and then not eating after midday, between midday and then dawn of the following day. Okay, so you add those 3 extra ones, and that way you have the 8 precepts. And so when we give them at the Abbey, because they're actually the one-day precepts, you know, when you have the 8 types of pratimoksha precepts, there's the one-day precepts that people take, and these are the 8. So here we give the 8 for a number of days that the people decide that they want to take them. So we ask people to at least take them for a year, but many people choose to take them for their entire life. So that's up to you. You just have to let me know what you're doing. And we have people take them for a year here as a way of trying out living in the essential precepts, because although, you know, as a novice you have 10 precepts, as a bhikshu or bhikshuni you have, you know, many hundreds of precepts. They all can be kind of contained or consolidated into the 5 or into the 8 for that matter. Okay, and so it gives people a chance to really live full-time 24/7, having this commitment to keep the precepts. And so then they get a chance to see, well, what is that like, and how does that benefit my mind? And how does that make me see more clearly the things I have to work on in myself? You know, because when you keep the precepts for one day, okay, one day you can abandon certain things, but day after day after day, then, you know, sometimes your attachment comes up, your anger comes up, whatever. So having those precepts continually really gives you the opportunity to work with whatever comes up in your mind, because you've made that commitment to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the presence of your preceptor. And so you have a very strong determination to keep that. And so, you know, it gives people that chance to see how it works on the mind, you know, and how it really helps you to stop bad habits and generate a lot of merit and purify a lot of negative karma. Yeah, the way it purifies the negative karma is because one of the results of karma is the tendency or the habit to do the action again. So taking a precept not to do something cuts that result of karma, that particular one. And that's a particularly deadly form of the result of karma, because through the habit to do the action again, then you just create more negative karma. Okay, so stopping that as a result is a real bonus, you know, in terms of purifying the mind. Yeah. And so we have people take it for about a year, because it depends on the person. Some, you know, decide more, some decide less. And, well, I shouldn't say that. You take them for at least a year. Okay, then you decide if you want to go on and take novice ordination, and then after 2 years, full ordination. So some people, you know, It's about a year at which they make the decision whether to go on to novice ordination. For some people, that's less. For other people, it's more. So it depends really on the individual when they feel ready, and also when the community feels that they're ready to do that. So the Anagarika time is a real, it's a time of experimenting. What is it like? And you put on, we call the blues. It used to be the grays, but we changed it to blue. So you're wearing a little uniform, so to speak, and it identifies you as somebody at the Abbey who's keeping these 8 precepts. You shave your head, and so you're identified also by an external appearance, which does change your mind because, when you look like everybody else, well, if you break your precepts and blow up and get angry and, everybody thinks, well, that's just some typical jerk, But if just kind of some ordinary one. Yeah. But if you're wearing robes or if you're wearing the Anagarika outfit, then people go, oh, that's somebody who has some precepts and they're acting like this. So you don't want them to think that you're that kind of jerk. Yeah. So it makes you more mindful of your behavior because you realize that not so much what people are going to think about you, but how they will relate to the Dharma if they see people misbehaving. And so because you treasure the Dharma and because you treasure other people and you want them to have faith in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then you don't want to do things that, make them lose their faith or doubt what's going on. And so it gives you an extra added impetus to avoid negative actions. Okay? So it's not only, I have the precepts, so I won't do that, but what I do may adversely affect somebody else, so I also won't do it because I care about them. So that's, when you study the virtuous mental factors in mind and awareness in low rig, those are the two, the one of integrity and consideration for others, that they say are the root of all virtue. Because when you have those two mental factors active, then it becomes very easy to abandon negativities. Okay, so you really, when you keep precepts, you strengthen those two mental factors. And you also become much more aware of, what's going on in your mind, because your mind is the chief motivator of what your body and speech do. So even though the 8 precepts regulate the activities of body and speech, in order to keep them well, we have to work with our mind. Because the moment our mind goes wacko, then our body and speech very easily follow. Yeah? So we start by externally restraining the negative actions. But to do that, it gets us into really restraining the mind and investigating the mental states that we have to work on. Okay? And so then, when people have done this and had this experience, then they can make a request to go on and take novice ordination. Or sometimes we've had people think, well, I've done this for a while, and I don't think I want to go on. Yeah, this kind of lifestyle is good, and I rejoice that other people do it, but it's not the lifestyle that I want to do. And so in my eyes, if people come to that conclusion at the end of their Anagarika period, that's also been a successful Anagarika period, because the person's gotten some clarity in their mind about how they want to live and what lifestyle will work for them and what lifestyle won't. Yeah, so I don't see it as there, and you can't really fail as an Anagarika, because whatever you're doing, you're going to come out with some knowledge, some self-knowledge, and some more clarity about your life. And then whether you decide to ordain after that or decide to be a lay practitioner after that, still the Anagarika time has been very, very worthwhile.